Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Caroline and Creative, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today what I want to show you and work with is something called the Thoughtful Moments Hybrid Embossing Folder. This is in the January to April mini catalog, and it's on page 18, and it is shown with the brayer here, and the brayer will work with what I'm demonstrating today, but I'm going to keep it really simple and not use the brayer today. But this set is sold for $38, and you get both the embossing folder and these die cuts. So let me show you what this looks like. This is the embossing folder, and it shows all the cool sentiments that come with this. You can use these to literally make any card. Very, very versatile. And then it comes with a set of dies. So this large die cuts out all those sentiments I just showed you, and it sits right inside that embossing folder. And then with this, you also get some fun little accents. There's stars, there's flowers, there's leaves, there's little clouds, there's rainbows, just a nice variety of things that you could sprinkle on your cards. So I am going to be using this large die for die cutting. Let me pull it out here. And the embossing folder. And what I'm going to do is ink up this embossing folder. Now, I played with this the other day. It goes this way. There we go. Once I get this all ready, I'll show you how simple it is once you get it done. I've already cut a piece. I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to ink up the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. So to me, it's the left-hand side. And all you need to do is pat the ink pad on this so that just the raised surface is going to have ink on it. Now this is where you could use the brayer. Like I said, just for simplicity, I'm just demonstrating a really simple way to do this. And the color I'm using today is Calypso Coral. I love this color. It's not a true orange. It really is a coral, but it's in between. I can do a lot with it. I've inked this. I'm now going to put this die cutting. Oh, I see a spot I missed. So I'm going to catch that right now, right on the edge here of this letter Y. There we go. Make sure you've got it inked. And you can tell by looking at it whether or not it's inked up. So now I'm going to place the die cutting, and it locks into place. I'm wiggling it. It has literally gone around the edges of all of those sentiments. I've pre-cut a piece of just white cardstock, 6 inches by 6 inches, and that fits perfectly on here. And now I close my embossing folder. So now I'm going to slide the embossing machine over so that you can see this. All I need to do is use the base plate and the gray number 4 and this thicker embossing folder. So this is my sandwich. Put it into the embossing and die cutting machine. Get it started here and crank it through. And it's a little tight, but that's my weak arm right there. It does slide right through. So now I'm going to move this machine out of my way so that I have more workspace. And you can see they're already separating. I'm going to flip this back over. They're coming right out. There we go. You see how easy this is. They pop right out. Already die cut for you. Very simple, very easy. And this just washes off. Very easy cleanup. I will literally take it, put it under the sink, and give it a rinse. There we go. So this will wash right off. Now, I had also cut some of these yesterday in black, so you can see what it looks like. But I have this whole variety of sentiments now that I can work with. So let me show you what I'm going to work on today, and then, well, first I'll show you the sample I made yesterday. I was playing yesterday and thought I just wanted to make a black and white card. I pulled out some old designer paper and took Get Well, just put a strip of black behind it, and then decided I really didn't like it all black and white. simply pulled out a marker, highlighted a few flowers, and then filled in the sentiment. Now what you can't see is that these are they're almost puffy letters. They're really cool. They have a texture to them. So it's very easy to color them in around what you've punched out. And it gives it a really interesting look. So that's one example. What I'm going to do today is I took some leftover paper strips from this, it's called what is it called? Inked Botanicals. So I had some leftover strips from cards. This is a piece of cardstock in Calypso Coral, which is the color I just punched. So now I just need to decide, what do I want this to say? So how about, happy birthday, thank you. It could be a simple thinking of you. It could be, just because. I don't want it to be a sympathy card. I'm thinking, yeah, thinking of you is a good one. That can be a lot of different occasions. So I need to decide now, do I want to ink that in? Do I want to make it a color? Do I want to leave it just like it is? And I'm leaning toward leaving it. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight just one word. So I'm pulling out my Calypso Coral marker here, and I am going to highlight the word you. So you can see how easily this goes on, and I'm using, maybe I want to try the other end. Some of this is kind of skinny right here, and I was afraid I wouldn't have a steady enough hand. So I'm just going to fill this in so that the word you really pops out. And like I said, this does have a texture to it. It feels like puffy letters, which is kind of cool. There we go, around the O there and into the U. So this is where using the brush end might be a little easier. Let me just fill in this skinny part here. This will go faster if I do it this way. Yeah, there, I like that. Okay, so now thinking of you with the focus on you. And so all I need to do is adhere this. I could put a little ribbon behind it. I could do something. You can see I've already glued these on just to speed things up today. So I'm going to just put some liquid glue on here. You could very easily use dimensionals if you wanted to pop it off. And I may still be tucking something else in and around this or adding some rhinestones to it, but you get the idea. Very simple, very sweet card. Now, I made another one yesterday, and I went back to this beautiful, masterfully made paper where I've taken just a piece of a 12 by 12, a larger piece. This is Berry Burst cardstock, which you see coordinates with the paper here. So what I want to do is adhere this. I did pull another scrap of Berry Burst because I'm going to put it up higher, and then put the words "You Make Me Happy" here. And I think I'm going to color in the word happy. I think I'm not going to color the whole thing in. This was just stamped in black when I punched these out yesterday. So let me slide this, and then I will assemble this one, and you will see how quickly some of these cards can go together. There we go. And I am using a blender pen for this. This has a nice tip on it for filling these in. And because this is a raised surface, it's very easy to color in. And so with the black outline, and then the Berry Burst color. There we go. I'm halfway done already. I need to focus here and not talk so much while I'm coloring. It's hard to do two things at once. And I went off I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. You can always tell if it's handmade, right? If there's a little bit of variation in it. Something's a little crooked, just gives it character. Okay, the last letter, the Y here. Let me hold it on the other side to hold it still while I color this in. But you can see how quickly this can go. You can be a faster colorer than I am. Yep, down and around and get the loop here. One pass with the pen and it's done. Okay, so now to assemble the card, I am very simply going to, I'll just use liquid glue since it's right here. So glue the edges, make sure I get it on the corners. There we go. Always want to make sure that the corners are being held down and not wiggling around. Try to get even edges, even border there. I like that. In this case, what I think I'm going to do is glue this onto this piece of cardstock first, and then I am going to use dimensionals, which I didn't get out yet. So let me grab those. So now I'm going to put liquid glue on the back of my sentiment on all the edges here, and center this. I want parts of it. It's going to hang off. If they're not the same size, and I was very intentional in that. Whoop, a little bit of glue on my fingers, and of course it flew. And now I'm going to take some dimensionals on the back here. Yep, make sure I get those corners supported, and a couple in the middle. And again, get these edges supported. And that should be enough. And pull off the stickers. Oh, those didn't want to pop. A little bit of a flip there to get it off. And then I'm just going to put this up here. I'm going to let some of these colors shine through. Now, the other thought I just had to make this even more fun, I'm going to take a little Wink of Stella and put it on what I just colored. So now it's going to have a fun shimmer. There we go. Don't have to worry too much about the little ones, those little swirls. I think though that it will still show through. So there we go, another card. So flip the camera back up here. Here we go. I have just very quickly made these two cards. This was with scraps. This was with a sixth of a piece of 12 by 12 designer paper. And then I showed you the one I made yesterday when I was experimenting with the die cut. So 3 very different cards, different styles. You could ink it so that everything had ink on these with the brayer. And that would be really cool too, but these are going to be fun. I can color these in and do lots of different things with it, like you saw where I just colored in one word. So, quick way to make some fun cards. I would encourage you to take a look at this embossing folder, this hybrid embossing folder, because it is very, very versatile and you can do a lot with it. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next video.